So when we look at car shows and things like that, there's usually a lot of people, hold on. All right. When you go to car shows, there's a lot of people that either get kind of antsy, upset, agitated, happy, excited. There's like a plethora of emotions that people have about car shows, when they're at car shows, after they go to a car show, before they go to a car show. And a lot of it revolves around car show etiquette. Whether people don't know how to walk, people have their dogs running all over the place, people have their kids running all over the place, people have their boyfriends running all over the place. I mean, it could be literally anything running all over the place, and you have a small heart attack on whether, you know, a drone is gonna come flying out of the sky and hit your car, whether you got like 6-year-old Timmy that's like throwing Hot Wheels at cars, or you are really genuinely concerned on why somebody's mad at you for carrying around one of those 2001, you know, metal connection wallet chains. You guys remember that with like the wide pants? You remember that stuff? Well, that was a thing at one time, and I don't think it's a thing anymore. But there's a lot of car show etiquette that really goes into going to a car show. And if you don't know it, sometimes you're one of those guys that has that stupid look on your face, or gal, that has that stupid look on your face when somebody is calling you out for doing something silly. So we thought we'd make a little short video to talk to you about a couple things that you need to know when you're going to the car shows in 2019, and we're going to dub it just car show etiquette. Now, don't forget to drop a comment below on what you think the biggest car show mannerism or etiquette that you could possibly have when going to a car show, because obviously this is super important as we go into the season. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm Alex from Fitment Industries. Let's get into it by telling you that if you're looking for wheels, tires, suspension, check out fitmentindustries.com. Boom. First and foremost, and this seems to go towards the older group instead of the younger one, is don't touch people's cars. Don't touch people's stuff. Don't touch people's things. So one of the biggest things that's going around right now is people have a tendency to go super crazy with their builds. You see it with the Hot Boy style coming out. You see it with, you know, the turbo fans. You see it with aero discs. You see it with their splitters and their aero and all this sort of stuff. And it almost makes you just like want to to touch it, right? Like you just want to know what that little end plate is made out of. And you feel like if you just kind of touch it, you'll figure it out. Don't touch the goddamn car. Don't touch anybody's car. Don't touch anybody's stuff. Like, don't ever even like think about touching other people's stuff. And this should just go for like a life hack in general. Life hack number 1, don't touch other people's shit, because it's just not appropriate. And we see it a lot of times, actually, sometimes with the older crowd, because they're trying to figure out how something works, especially with a younger person's car, just because there's so much stuff that's happening on it. Now, if you ask and blah, 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 you'll be absolutely fine. But we just usually have a tendency that if it doesn't say that you can touch it, then don't touch it. And that goes for the same thing for pretty much anything. Don't lean on it. Don't put your elbow on it. Don't do anything like that. Don't lean back on it. And we understand that sometimes we do this by accident, but there really is no excuse, especially if you're at a car show. If somebody's bringing their car to a car show, you can expect that they care about the quality of their car. Another thing that we would highly recommend is just don't go talk when you're at the car show. So one of the biggest things that we've noticed, especially here in the local area, is sometimes people have a tendency to go around and like critique cars instead of enjoying them. The problem is that when you're walking around as like an 18-year-old with your little vapey mod and you're going and talking smack about older cars, a lot of times those people are sitting in the cars, like they're at the car show. They're there. They're usually around the car that they're around. And we just recommend that you like don't. Like there's no reason to. Now you can obviously have your opinions and be all fun and dandy and stuff, and you can talk about it maybe when you go home and have a good old-fashioned brewski, like a PBR or maybe a Leinenkugels. But really, if you're at the car show and you're doing that, you're kind of making yourself come off like a wiener, you know? Like it's just a wiener mannerism, and I just wouldn't do it. It's not saying that you can't have an opinion, it's just kind of like why would you do it in front of somebody? It's just kind of mean. You know, it's not the internet. There's people there. They'll fight you. Another thing that we have, especially for the younger community, is try not to smoke when you're at the car shows. And I mean, that seems pretty fundamentally simple, but it seems like a lot of times there's been people that seem to kind of forget what smoking is. And smoking does include vaping. It does include the little jewel pod things that are making, I don't even get them. I don't understand because I don't smoke, but they look like USB ports. Don't like smoke around other people's cars, especially if the windows are open and it's a nice day. A lot of times that smoke will actually hold within a lot of interiors, and if you're smoking and you're checking things out, or if you're vaping and you're checking things out, a lot of times people just don't like that. There's no problem with vaping while you're walking around and doing stuff. Just try not to do it next to cars or when the cars have open windows. You never really know what's inside the cars, and of course you never really know if that's gonna be a problem for them. There's a lot of people that actually don't like smoking at all, which I know, contrary to popular belief, people don't like vaping either. So you can have kind of a rough time if you're checking out a car and you're vaping at the same time, because then they're gonna be like, why are you doing that in my face? like right next to me. I'm like right here. Another big thing is try not to leave the show until it's over. Sometimes we've gotten used to going to car shows and then leaving an hour into it, whether it's because you're bored or because you want to go grab food or something like that. But ultimately what ends up happening is they'll fill up this entire lot, you leave an hour in, and then half the event is full, yet people have been parked in the spectator lot because there was no more space at the initial launch of the event. Then what happens is people that come in because the event is so-called full, they get mad at the hosts because there's obviously space. That happens a lot of times because of events that are hosted without a cost or extremely low cost, and as a result, people have a tendency to leave because they just don't have any tie to staying at the event for the whole day, and it ultimately results in a lot of traffic and a lot of issues. We usually recommend that if you're gonna go to a show, go to the whole show, enjoy it, ask some of the car owner questions, buy some food, hang out, check out the vendors and things like that, and you'll likely spend 4 to 5 hours at that event before you can even blink, because a lot of times you're gonna be hanging out, having some food, taking some pictures, and of course, petting all the dogs, which goes into the next thing that we would highly recommend, which is just simply keep an eye on your kiddos and your pups. Because a lot of times, especially up here in Wisconsin, we host car shows up here. We love having animals come. We love having puppies and dogs and cats and pretty much raccoons and this and that and everything in between. But we also need to make sure that people are being safe with their animals, because if they're not trained, they have a tendency to run around slapping that big old Labrador tail like it's a goddamn whip against cars, and that's definitely not something that you want to have either. So make sure that you're keeping track of where little Johnny is and that he's not playing race the red Hot Wheel car against the side of a Dodge Challenger, because you don't want that either. Ultimately, they don't know that they're doing anything bad, and the same thing with, you know, dogs, because they don't have that sort of tendency. So make sure that you're keeping an eye on them, and then you're just training them when you need to. Which goes into a bonus tip, because this is something that we deal with up north. If it is hot outside and you're bringing dogs to a car show, make sure they have the little bootsies on, because it can get like 100 degrees on the asphalt, and then it gets even hotter because the asphalt is black, and then you're walking your dog on it and you don't notice anything because you're wearing those like weird croc things, but they are definitely noticing it, but they can't speak, you know, the English, so they're gonna have a tough time expressing to you that their paws hurt. Make sure that if you're going out in warm weather, take care of your puppies, because it's not very nice. If they're hot, you're hot, bring them inside, whatever it's called. There's like a whole lingo for it, but I just, you know, we like dogs. And our final tip is that car shows by definition are opinionated, and they're gonna be a little bit subjective, which I think is the right word, especially when it comes down to judging. You have to remember that judging by definition is gonna have a level of kind of bias in it. There's gonna be a certain amount of people judging. They're gonna try and use some sort of unbiased system, such as like a point system, or maybe a registration system that includes all the modifications listed to your vehicle that they'll have on hand when you actually enter into the show. They'll have different sorts of, you know, maybe it's photos, or maybe it's a digital system, or maybe it's a paper system. But at the end of the day, it's not a computer that's deciding what car wins, it's people. And a lot of times those people have a bias in what they decide is cool or not cool. That doesn't mean that their opinion's right, it doesn't mean that their opinion is wrong. But if you go to a Euro show with a muscle car, your car could be extremely clean, but they're probably still not gonna take your car and make it best of show. Doesn't mean you should get mad about it, and that's one of the biggest things, is sometimes when you go to a car show, you have these super high expectations about winning a bunch of trophies, and you don't. And a lot of times it could have to do with the bias that judges have. We're not saying don't get all feisty about it, because it can be something that's a little bit agitating, but don't be a sore loser about it, because it's really just a car show. You're not gonna gain anything from it. Now, if there's like a $20,000 pot, I mean, go nuts, because that's super cool, but I've yet to go to one of those before in my entire life. And also understand that a lot of times if you're going to a show that has a specific niche and you're not bringing that niche, a lot of times you're not gonna be entered into a lot of that stuff, and then people get feisty about it, and then the judges have to come in and say, hey, well, your car doesn't match this, what we're looking for. Then they get mad, then they go on Facebook, and then they complain to everybody. Or you end up being one of those guys that complains that your car didn't win versus another car winning at the same show, yet both cars were super cool. And it's just like, it's unnecessary drama for a car show. Go to a car show, enjoy it, enjoy the food, enjoy the dogs, enjoy the pets, enjoy the trophies, enjoy all the fun, enjoy the beautiful weather, enjoy your car, and most importantly, enjoy the people that are around you, and just have a good time. And don't make it anything more than what it is. And those are our tips for car show etiquette. You let us know what you think we missed in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you're looking for wheels, tires, suspension, check out fitmentindustries.com. I'm Alex. Don't forget to subscribe. We will see you later. Peace.